You had the dream again last night. The one where you could fly, or your dead grandmother was somehow alive and 20 years old, or you were back in high school, but also you were your current age, and everyone was selling furniture out of the lockers. It was vivid. You woke up with your heart pounding, the whole narrative still crystalline in your head. Every detail, every emotion, the specific shade of purple the sky was turning when you realized you forgot how to land. You reached for your phone. You were going to write it down this time. You were finally going to capture one of these things. And then, nothing. Not like you forgot the details. Like the entire dream got scooped out of your skull with a melon baller. 60 seconds ago, you were living in a fully rendered alternate universe. And now you can't even remember if you were inside or outside. You're left with this feeling, this emotional residue. And maybe one image, the purple sky. That's it. Here's the thing. You've done this 1,000 times. We all have. But we've never actually stopped to ask why. Why does your brain build these intricate, hours-long experiences every single night and then actively delete them before you finish your first coffee? By the end of this video, you're going to understand why your own mind has been gaslighting you since childhood, and why that might be the only thing keeping you sane. Let's zoom out for a second, because when you really look at it, dream forgetting is absurd. Your brain is an obsessive hoarder. It remembers the lyrics to a commercial jingle from 1997. It remembers your childhood best friend's landline phone number. It can recall, in excruciating detail, that time you said, "You too," when the movie theater employee told you to enjoy your film. That was 11 years ago. You've dedicated permanent neurological real estate to that humiliation. But a vivid, emotionally intense, plot-driven experience that happened 6 hours ago while you were asleep? Gone. Not faded. Gone. Studies show we forget about 95% of our dreams within 10 minutes of waking up. Not 10 hours, 10 minutes. Every other major experience your brain considers important, a conversation, a meal, a drive to work, a time you got mildly embarrassed, gets encoded into memory if it crosses a certain threshold of novelty or emotion. Dreams are nothing but novelty and emotion. They should be the easiest things to remember, and yet they're the hardest. So what's going on? Why would evolution build a system that generates these elaborate simulations every night and then immediately shreds the evidence? Is it a bug in the code, or is forgetting your dreams actually protecting you? To understand that, we need to go back, way back. Before alarm clocks, before beds, before anyone had any idea what a dream even was. We need to go back to the moment when remembering your dreams could get you killed. It's roughly 60,000 years ago. Let's say you're a woman. We'll call you the hunter because that's what you're doing when this starts. You're part of a small band of Homo sapiens living in what will eventually be called the Kalahari, but right now it's just called the place where we don't die if we're careful. You've been tracking a kudu for 2 days. Big one. Your group needs this. It's the dry season and the last good kill was 6 days ago. Everyone's getting that lean, hollow look. The children stopped playing as much. You need this animal. Last night you slept under an acacia tree and you dreamed. In the dream, you found water, not the muddy seep your group has been rationing from. A real source, a hidden spring up in the rocks, just past the place where the baobab tree split in two. You saw it. You felt the cold water on your hands. You drank until your belly ached. It was real. You wake up. The sky is that fragile pre-dawn blue. Your body is stiff from sleeping on the ground and your mouth tastes like dust and smoke. And in your head, crystal clear, is the memory of that spring. Here's the question. Do you go look for it? Because here's the problem. That spring doesn't exist. Your brain invented it. But right now in this moment, the memory of finding that water feels exactly as real as the memory of tracking the kudu yesterday. Same texture, same sensory weight. If you can remember both experiences with equal vividness, how do you know which one actually happened? You don't have a concept of just a dream yet. That's a framework that will take thousands of years of culture and language to build. Right now, you just have two competing memories, and one of them is telling you there's water a half-day's walk in the wrong direction from the kudu you've been tracking for 2 days. If you go looking for that spring, you lose the kudu. Your group starves. Maybe not today, but the margins are thin enough that one mistake, one wasted day chasing a phantom water source, can be the thing that tips you over. This is the evolutionary problem with remembering dreams. Your brain, during sleep, is doing something crucial. One theory, backed by a lot of modern neuroscience, is that dreaming is a kind of threat simulation. Your mind is running drills, predator attacks, social conflicts, environmental dangers, so you're better prepared when the real thing happens. Another theory is that dreams are part of memory consolidation. Your brain sorting through the day's experiences, deciding what to keep and what to discard, and in the process generating these weird narrative byproducts. But here's what almost all sleep researchers agree on. Whatever dreams are for, they're not meant to be acted on. They're an internal process, a maintenance mode. And for most of human history, confusing a dream with reality could get you killed. So your brain evolved a fail-safe. It made dreams nearly impossible to remember. Here's the mechanism. When you're in REM sleep, the phase where most vivid dreaming happens, your brain suppresses a neurotransmitter called norepinephrine. This is one of the chemicals involved in encoding new memories into long-term storage. Your hippocampus, the part of your brain that moves experiences from short-term to long-term memory, is essentially running on a different operating system during REM. It's active, it's engaged, but it's not recording in the same way it does when you're awake. On top of that, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for logic, self-awareness, and memory formation, is dramatically less active during dreams. You're experiencing the dream, but the part of you that would normally say, "I should remember this," is offline. So when you wake up, the dream is still there for a minute or two, sitting in a kind of neurological buffer. But because it was never encoded properly in the first place, it degrades almost immediately. It's like trying to save a document you never actually hit save on. The content was there on your screen, but the second you close the laptop, it's gone. You, 60,000 years ago standing under that acacia tree, feel the memory of the water source start to slip. By the time the sun is fully up, you can't quite remember where the spring was supposed to be. By midday, you're not even sure you dreamed about water. Might have been something else. You keep tracking the kudu. 2 hours later, you make the kill. Your group eats. You just survived because you forgot. Now you might be thinking, okay, that makes sense for survival scenarios, but most dreams aren't about finding fake water sources. Most dreams are just weird. Why would evolution care if I remember my anxiety dream about showing up to a meeting naked? Fair. But here's where it gets more complicated, because forgetting dreams doesn't just prevent you from chasing phantom resources. It does something else, something maybe even more important. It keeps your sense of reality stable. Jump forward about 50,000 years. Let's say you're living in a small farming community in the Fertile Crescent, around 10,000 BCE, wheat and barley, mud brick houses. You've been in the same village your entire life and you know every person in it. Last night you dreamed that your neighbor, we'll call him the Weaver, because that's what he does, stole from you. In the dream, you watched him sneak into your grain storage and take a basket of barley. You confronted him. He denied it. You felt the hot rush of betrayal, the anger, the certainty that you'd been wronged. You wake up. Now, if that memory encoded the same way a real memory does, you'd wake up convinced the Weaver stole from you. Not suspicious, convinced. Because you have a memory of watching it happen. And here's the kicker. Studies on human memory show that we're actually really bad at distinguishing between things we experienced and things we vividly imagined or dreamed if the memory is encoded with the same emotional intensity. There are documented cases in modern sleep research of people who have unusually high dream recall and report genuine confusion about whether certain memories are real or not. They'll remember a conversation that never happened. They'll be angry at someone for something that only occurred in a dream. Their waking model of reality gets polluted by dream content. For you, in 10,000 BCE, this isn't just awkward, it's destabilizing. Your survival depends on your ability to accurately track social relationships, debts, alliances, threats. If you start treating dream events as real events, you fracture those relationships. You accuse the Weaver. Maybe he gets defensive. Maybe the community takes sides, as maybe trust, the invisible infrastructure that lets a settlement function, starts to erode. Or maybe it's not even social. Maybe you dream that you already harvested a field and then you don't actually harvest it and the grain rots. Maybe you dream that you secured the goat pen and then you don't double check and the goats wander off in the night. The people who could clearly separate dream memories from real memories had a better shot at survival. And the easiest way to enforce that separation? Just delete the dream memories entirely. Now here's the complication, the thing that keeps this from being a neat, simple story. Some people, across all of human history, have remembered their dreams, vividly, consistently. And many of those people became shamans, priests, prophets, oracles. In dozens of cultures, from ancient Mesopotamia to indigenous Australia to medieval Europe, the person who could remember and interpret dreams held a position of power. So there's a tension here. On one hand, forgetting dreams is protective, so it keeps your reality stable. On the other hand, remembering dreams can be socially valuable. It marks you as special, as connected to something beyond the everyday. One theory is that this created a kind of cognitive niche. Most people forget because that's the safe default. But a small percentage of people, maybe because of slight variations in their neurochemistry, maybe because of practice and intention, can override the forgetting mechanism. And those people become the community's designated dream rememberers. They take on the risk of blurred reality. but they also gain status and influence. You, in your Neolithic village, are not one of those people. You're the default. The dream about the weaver fades within minutes. By breakfast, you can't remember what you dreamed about at all, just that you had a strange feeling when you first woke up. You see the weaver in the afternoon. He waves. You wave back. No problem. Your forgetting is invisible infrastructure. You don't notice it working, but if it stopped, everything would start to fracture. Okay, let's bring you back. It's this morning. You're in your bed, in your house or apartment in the 21st century. No kudu to track, no grain to protect. You woke up from a dream and it evaporated, same as always, and now you know what happened. That feeling, that grasping, frustrating sensation of watching a vivid experience dissolve in real time, isn't a bug. It's your brain doing exactly what it was shaped to do over hundreds of thousands of years. It's protecting your sense of what's real. Because here's the thing. You still need that protection. Maybe more than ever. Think about how much of your life exists in abstract simulated spaces now. You have work dreams where you're stuck in meetings that blend seamlessly with actual meetings you sat through yesterday. You have stress dreams about missing flights, losing your wallet, forgetting a deadline. If those encoded the same way real memories do, you'd wake up with false certainty that you did miss the flight, that you do need to find your wallet, that the deadline already passed and you're screwed. You'd be anxiety spiraling over events that never happened, encoded with the same neurological weight as events that did. The forgetting mechanism is a firewall. It keeps your waking model of the world clean. But, and this is where it gets interesting, we also kind of hate it, don't we? There's something deeply frustrating about losing those dreams. Some of them are beautiful. Some of them are emotionally cathartic in ways waking life isn't. Some of them feel important, like your subconscious is trying to tell you something, and the message is getting deleted before you can read it. That frustration has spawned an entire industry. Dream journals, apps that wake you during REM cycles to maximize recall. Techniques to train yourself into lucid dreaming, where you're aware you're dreaming and can remember it more easily. And here's the wild part. It works. Sort of. If you wake up during or immediately after REM sleep, your dream recall skyrockets. If you write down your dreams every morning, even fragments, your brain starts to encode them more durably. It's like you're hacking the failsafe. You're training your hippocampus to treat dream content as worth saving. Some people do this for years. They build vast archives of their own dreams, and a lot of them report the same thing. It's beautiful and fascinating, but it's also disorienting. They start to notice that they'll remember things that didn't happen. They'll have to pause and think, wait, did I actually have that conversation with my sister or did I dream it? The firewall is weakening. There's no moral to that. It's not good or bad. It's just a trade-off. You can have more access to your dreams, but you lose some clarity about reality. Or you can let them vanish and keep your waking life stable and unambiguous. Most of us, whether we realize it or not, have chosen the latter. We let the dreams go. We wake up, feel that flicker of loss, and then we check our phone and pour coffee and the dream is gone and we move on. And honestly, that's probably fine. Because here's the emotional beat I want to land on. Those dreams aren't wasted just because you don't remember them. All the research suggests that dreaming itself, the actual process, whether you recall it or not, is doing something vital. It's regulating your emotions. It's consolidating memories. It's letting your brain run scenarios and process fear and rehearse social interactions in a space where there are no consequences. You don't need to remember a dream for it to do its job. Just like you don't need to remember every individual breath for breathing to keep you alive. The forgetting isn't a failure, it's a feature. It's your brain saying, I've handled this. You don't need to carry this forward. Let it go. And maybe, in a world where we're all drowning in information, in memories, in digital records of every mundane moment, there's something almost merciful about that. About having one part of your life that's just for you, just for your sleeping brain, and then it's gone. No record, no archive, just the faint emotional residue, like the scent of something you can't quite name. But here's the part almost nobody knows. There's a tiny subset of people, we're talking maybe 1 in a few thousand, who have what's called severely deficient autobiographical memory, or SDAM. They don't just forget their dreams. They barely form episodic memories at all. They know facts about their lives, but they can't mentally replay experiences the way most people can. No rich sensory memories of their wedding, their childhood last Tuesday. And when researchers ask them about dreams, most of them say they don't have any. Or if they do, the dreams are so devoid of sensory detail and narrative that they barely qualify. Which raises a weird question. Do they not dream because they can't remember? Or do they not remember because the same mechanism that fails to encode waking memories also fails during sleep? We don't know yet, but it suggests that memory and dreaming are way more entangled than we thought. That maybe the whole system, waking memory, dream generation, dream forgetting, is all one interconnected thing, and we're only just starting to map it. So, the next time you wake up and feel that dream slipping away and you try to grab it and it dissolves like smoke, don't mourn it. That's just your brain, doing what it's been doing since before we were fully human, keeping you tethered to the real world. And if you want to understand why you are the way you are, why your mind works like this, why you do the things you do without thinking about them, well, that's what this channel is for. Subscribe if you want more of this. If not, no worries. Either way, sleep well, dream hard, and then let it all go. The only memory you need to keep is this one. Forgetting is what makes you sane.